To my general public, I know you listening. Tune in to leave you informed on how to get dividends. You politicking with the best. You politicking with permits. Authentic originators. Others accountable.
Has the art of making good music been taken out, and now has it become a monopolizing business and just suck all the life out of these indie artists?
Well, I think the gentleman who just spoke was spot on when he said that everything has changed. The artists are wising up now in terms of knowing that they can do just as well or even better independently than they would if they signed to a major label, and that is because of the technology and the internet and how everything is lightning speed right now. Mm-hmm. But I think that they have to have something that's fresh that the people want, too. I have a Twitter page full of rappers who are tweeting every second, every, thing they've ever done, everything on YouTube they want you to see, everything, that's coming up show-wise that they're going to do. And there has to be some content there that rises above the rest that sort of makes you stand out, because the technology is really saturated, even with the search engine optimization, even with, all the tricks of the trade. You have to be coming with something fresh. And I think that those artists who are able to use the technology and have that fresh content and know what the streets want and know what the pulse of the industry really is, those are the ones who are going to be the Nicki Minaj's and the Drakes and the new stars of today. So I love it personally. I love seeing the turn of the tide. I just want to see artists be able to get what they're supposed to get financially now, and I think some of them, the majority of them, are still trying to figure that piece out. The labels, the majors will never go away. However, they're in the lab too, trying to figure out how to get this thing right now that, it's changing for them as well. And I think a lot of them are honestly doing a lousy job of supporting their artists right now.
Wow.
I can name, a handful of artists who have signed in the past year who are still sitting by waiting for studio time.
That's right.
Waiting to see if the labels are going to actually put any money behind them marketing-wise. And that's why you see one or two singles come out from those folks, and then they die a quick death. You don't hear from them again because the label didn't get that return on investment from that first single, but they also didn't support the artist with any good marketing either. And so it's kind of a catch-22. But for those artists who are sturdy enough to really try and push it at the independent route that might possibly lead to a label deal later, I think is all about just grinding, getting everywhere you can locally, like you talked about, and then branching out from there regionally. If you look at a lot of the rappers who are out now who are really making a heavy buzz, the Wiz Khalifa, the Yellow Wolf, Big Crits, and people like that, those guys are all from really obscure cities that hip-hop has never been known for.
Exactly, right.
You got somebody from Pittsburgh. You got somebody from Meridian, Mississippi. And these guys are the top, the top dogs right now. And so what you see is that the masses are rising up from other places, and it's not New York, and it's not L.A. or Miami, but I think what you're going to see soon is a lot of these other cities, including Baltimore, including Boston, who get a lot more plays than they have ever gotten.
Absolutely.
Right. I agree with you. And to piggyback off of something you said, as well as Keith, something you said is that the digital world is taking over and it's changing the course of the music industry. And that's why I believe, especially some of our regional artists out of the Baltimore DMV area, need to work hard. One unnamed hip-hop artist spoke to me over Facebook and told me that they didn't need to pay for promotion, or they didn't need to invest in themselves because they were just good. So I said, okay, well, if you're great, well, let me look you up. I entered that person's name into a Google search engine, and they had less than 60 followers on Facebook and had no Google searches. And I'm like, so you don't believe you need to invest in yourself? Come on, buddy. Let's get it together.
Yeah, that person is not living in this world that we're living in right now.
Absolutely.
Somewhere in Jupiter.
Right. You have to play ball on the courts that people are playing on, and I mean, it's the new world that we're living in. So those who really figure that piece out are the ones who are going to just kill the game, especially if they're coming with some good music behind it. So.
Absolutely. And Swen, I will say this. I'm going to put him on blast. Every time I see Swen, he's always on his grind. And this is somebody that's not a rapper, okay? I don't know if he makes beats, but this is a guy behind the scenes that really, his resume, his credentials speak numbers. So my question to you, Swen, I know we run out of time, but I just want to make height of this is, when you're promoting an artist, what exactly you looking for? Because you hit the pavement hard. Flyers, everything.
I mean, when I promote an artist, I mean, I like to deal with artists that are about promoting themselves first, man.
Right.
You're not going to get me in the picture just because you know what I do, you know what I can do, you've seen what I can do, and just expect me to do all the work for you and make you into something. I like people to work as hard as I work, That's pretty much my only, and have some quality music. Just put the effort into, your craft or whatever it may be, whether it's music, whether you make beats, whether you paint, whether you write, whatever it is, you can market anything.
Absolutely.
I worked for just about, as far as on the street team level, did for all the major labels out here. I still work for quite a few of them, and like she said, they're definitely downsizing on their marketing. They're getting rid of street teams. They're not doing a whole lot. They're catching up. They're doing a lot of viral stuff, which is pretty much the same for each artist. They funnel them through these media outlets that get the big views and they get the big hits. But the difference between, just going to those major media outlets, it's a lot of smaller media outlets too that, people trust their word a little more than some of these bigger media outlets out here. And I feel like you got to cover all bases, man. I mean, but as far as artists, man, you got to get out there. You got to do your footwork. You got to do your research. I mean, if you're an artist and you don't have, if you have a Facebook page and it's not at least 5,000 friends on there, man, you really not, if you haven't maxed that page out and set your music page up, then you're
not doing anything.
Because it's not hard to get friends on Facebook.
No, it's really not. And especially if you put yourself out there. Al, I'm going to direct this question to you. As I see time is definitely rolling out. You definitely come across a lot of independent music, and you listen to them. And one thing I do have to credit you for is no candy coating if a project comes through Al Shipley's radar.
Shut it down.
If a project is not worth putting out, he's just going to put it out there, and I do respect you for that highly. Artists to look out for, well, I don't want to say that, but what do you look for? What's the things you listen to when a project comes through your radar to really give it a thumbs up? And what do you feel about the independent scene out here in Baltimore? I'm going to narrow it down just to Baltimore. What do you feel about that?
I mean, I would say, it's one of those things where, I'm known for hearing everybody's stuff, and sometimes I don't want to give people the sense that my opinion's end all be all, because I have a very specific taste, like anyone. There's certain things I like, certain things I don't like. But really, I mean, I just look for people that have their own personality or their own identity at all. Because it's so easy for people to, just kind of seem faceless or just kind of seem generic or like they're copying someone else. So even when they're talented, if they just have no identity of their own, I mean, it's just hard to embrace the music or like feel like it's memorable at all. So a lot of it for me is that, and also just I think production and the music is as important as the lyrics. So I feel like usually it's the artists that either can produce their own stuff or have a good producer or know a lot of producers that really make consistently good releases and actually get somewhere. Because the people that just do 100 freestyles, they tend not to really get anywhere.
Okay. Point well taken. As I see time is definitely running out, we have a lot of people on the panel, so I want everybody, all our listeners, to really get into your network, follow you guys, whatever you got going on. I'm going to start over with Travis. I'm going to start just because I know you got a big event going down.
Right.
Go ahead.
And let me say this. One of the things that I try to do, I've been in business for a long time, I try to find local talent, the best local talent I can find in town, and try to give them a venue and a backdrop that will help them,
right,
to work on their craft. And encourage them to do that all the time. And that's what we did with this show on Sunday.
Okay.
It's really about the foundation that we started for young people. And that's first and foremost, to raise money for that.
Okay.
But at the same time, I found a variety of talent that are real kids that are not just kids. I'm talking about up to like 26 years old.
Right.
That are really, really, really talented.
Right.
We're going to give them a show It's as good as any professional show come along.
Okay.
But we gotta have the right. That's why I brought Keith down. You gotta have the right sound. You gotta have the right lights.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have all those right things behind them to encourage them even more.
Right.
That encourages me more to do the right thing.
Exactly.
And so we want y'all to come out on Sunday.
All right.
It's at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
From 5 to 9 on Sunday. The show will start exactly at 6.
Okay.
Not 6:15. 6 o'clock.
6
He's
o'clock.
on time.
And it will
folks.
end
Please.
at 8 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But we really trying to do something that's good, you know, and really let people know about the
How much are tickets?
Model Youth Empowerment. It's $20 at the door.
Okay.
And if you have student ID, it's $15.
And it's at Coppin State University.
Coppin State University,
Gotcha.
North Avenue, and it's going
James
to be
Weldon
good.
Johnson Auditorium.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. Keith, I must say, in listening to you, brother, I must say definitely thank you, first of all, so much for coming on. Definitely have a lot of insight. And where can people, you on Twitter, Facebook?
Well, yeah, they could get me on Facebook if I only have about 40 friends. So I'm judicious on who, you know, people hit me on Facebook 9 times out of 10, they're real friends.
Gotcha.
And you know, they can always email me at TooQuietKeith, TooQuietKeith @gmail.com.
Okay.
And that's how I've got like this boutique business. It's kind of like word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
And I don't do a whole lot. The people who know me, they know how to get in touch with me.
All right.
And speaking of which, I just had a call from a gentleman I have managed for quite some time. He's getting ready to do a solo project, an incredible solo project. I heard the song, the first single, and it's incredible.
Okay.
And I'm consulting with him about some of the right producers, and that's Cisco. He's a guy who's got unquestionable talent.
Okay.
And he's a guy who is one artist.
Okay.
Who really understands the significance of the digital age.
All right.
And to say that, I took him out to iTunes. We sat with Robert Condrick, who is Mr. iTunes. He only reports to Steve Jobs. And we left the meeting, and after talking, he said, I want to work with Cisco because of all of the artists that I've ever met, he's the one artist who knows it. And I said, you mean Bono from U2, they didn't know it? He said, no, they just knew that the kids was in the iPads and was getting music off iTunes, and as a result, that was Steve Jobs, man, so he was down. He said, but Cisco, he knows it.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Good deal. All right. Swen?
Swen?
You know, you can actually you can Google me. All my info will pop up in the search.
Trust me, his info will pop up, ladies and gentlemen.
I did it this afternoon.
It will pop up, Swen Brock. Or you know, you can log on to dnvjams.com. You know, you can find my info on there as well as
Hey,
some
Max. Hey, Mo.
good info. You know, definitely log
Larry.
on there.
No doubt.
And or you can hit me at Swen at NRG Theory. That's NRGTHEORY.net.
No doubt.
And yeah, it's not hard to find.
That's what it is. Sandra, thank you so much for joining us. How can people get up with you or find you or inquire?
Definitely people should be reading allhiphop.com, #1 hip-hop site on the globe for exclusive hip-hop journalism content. I give a shout-out to Boss Man and Paula Campbell and LB and all my friends down there in Baltimore. And I wanted to let folks know I was so impressed with Boss Man when I first met him that I invited him to take part in our 13th annual tribute to Notorious B.I.G.
Absolutely. Yeah.
March 9th.
Absolutely.
March 9th in NYC, New York City. So we're looking forward to having Boss come up north and give the people a taste of his flavor. And people can reach me on Twitter at Seandra Sims, SeandraSims. I don't give out the rest of the info because I got artists across the country who will stalk me immediately. But thank you all for the time on the show. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Real quick, Al, where can people find you real quick, Al?
Okay, I'm on Twitter at Al Shipley, and my site, Government Names, is governmentnames.blogspot.com, and the book I'm working on, Tough Breaks, the story of Baltimore club music, has a website that's toughbreaksbaltimore.com.
Absolutely. Man, Al, thank you so much for joining us. Konshens?
Yeah, you could definitely log on to www.konshens, that's KONSHEN.com. Everything else is reachable through there. Permissive, I want to thank you all, man, for having me on. I'm very humbled, you know what I'm saying, by being a part of this panel. And for the folks that are on the panel, I wish you all much success in the business, and I will be reaching out to each and every one of y'all.
Absolutely. So happy birthday, 92Q. Conan, catch him down at Miss this Friday. If you're there, I'm there. Politics with Permiss each and every Thursday right here on WORB 1010 a.m., the home of the Larry Young Morning Show. God bless. See you next week.